Well, hello there. In our last Mish-Mash video, I think it was what, 267, 268, I don't even know which one we're going to be on. I won't know until I actually edit the video. But in the last Mish-Mash video, I was working on our DX160 that I had caused a problem with, and I troubleshot it down to a capacitor that was bad, changed the capacitor, and nothing happened. It still didn't, and they would light up, but no sound would come out of it. So that I did a couple of other checks on it and discovered that it was probably the chip that capacitor is connected to. So I had to order a couple. I ordered a total, actually 4, and I took out the old one. This is the old one. Soldered in the new one, and here's what we got. Good to go, huh? I love this little DX160. Boy, you had a nice little radio. The speaker wasn't the greatest in the world, but if you stuff a little bit of sound insulation on the back, what I did, you take the outside cover off, put some sound insulation there, and that helps. They're kind of tinny, kind of a tinny sound, but I wanted the original speaker with mine, so I got it. Let's check shortwave. See, that is can't see anything in the dark. There we go. Let's go to C band. Let me see, B, C, D, D band, C, D, which should be shortwave. We're getting some stuff. A little bit of WWV there. A lot of religious stuff. Needle works good. Anyway, she's all good to go now, and I get to listen to this one as well as my Hammerlin HQ129X. I love coming out here in the shop after the wife's gone to sleep and the dogs are just kind of laying around snoring and waking up and roaming around and whatever. I'll come out here, and I don't like being out of the house to do this. I'd rather be in the house doing it, but if I have to do it, I'll come out here and do it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy shortwave in particular at night. Sometimes I pick up some really strange stuff. Well, today we are kicking around the old shop, and by we, I mean myself and Tom. Tom brought his DX160 radio today. He's wanting that thing operational. And you can see he's sitting here working like a big dog on it. Is it all repaired, ready to go?
I just soldered that, but I haven't checked the continuity.
Good. You hear that? Did you hear what he just said? He knows that he is learning. He's a fast learner. Well, old Tom is gone. He worked real hard on his realistic DX160. He came in here and 3 of the bands were really not playing very well. We've got all but one of them playing well. He worked real hard on it. So, he's not going to be back for a few days. He's a teacher, like I said. I said in the previous video, he was a substitute teacher. He's got a job scheduled, and I have some other things coming in. I got the car parts coming in for our Thunderbird. It should be here this week. Today is Labor Day, and I'm kind of hoping to have all the car parts here by Thursday, and then maybe we can get cranked up on the car by the weekend and start putting pieces back together. I got the ball joints and a bunch of other crap. Anyway, we'll see. And meanwhile, I'm going to take a look at the old schematic here and see if I can't figure out what might be the problem, so we can move on from the DX160 and get back to Tom's dad's old radio. Well, it's later in the evening, and the E-band was totally dead on this thing, and I was finally able to figure out what the problem was. And he's got noise now, even though it doesn't tune in any stations. It needs an alignment. I'm going to let Tom do the complete alignment on this thing, He's already built the box that you have to have in order to do the alignment, and I think you have to use a BTVM. I haven't gone into it that much, but I got a BTVM that works good, so I'll just let him use this. So this is what it sounds like now. All the bands are working now, even though you can't tune any stations in on E-band because it needs that alignment. That's it. So that's what he has across the band, whereas before it was totally silent. Now his broadcast band works very nice, very nicely. Now if we can just get the rest to do the same thing. All the other bands do tune in stations, except for that E band. Once he gets that aligned, we'll be good to go. Today is the 28th of September, and I am in the process finally of getting that antenna up that I talked to you about a couple of videos ago. I might even have been in the last Mish-Mash video. It's going to be a CB radio antenna, and it's a 102-inch whip, and this is the antenna right here. I ordered everything from let me see, I can't even remember the name of it. It's been so long ago. God, a CB radio supply or something. I'll put it on the screen, whatever it was. And I got the idea on how to do this from another YouTuber, and I'll put his name up next. It was something Cricket. I can't remember what it was right now. But I liked his idea of taking a pipe. He says his worked for years. And then he took an L bracket and he put hose clamps around to clamp it to the pipe. I didn't like that idea. I went ahead and downtown to a friend of mine, you know, Joe the welder, where I used to work, and he welded this bracket on for me on the pipe instead of using a hose clamp. And then of course down here is the stud mount that goes through the hole. And he had the Cricket man, I'll call him Cricket man until I can remember what his name is, but I will put it on the screen because he gets full credit for this idea. A half a Folgers can between this screw right here and, you know, the stud mount, and that'll protect it from the weather real well. Then of course you put your coax cable on, tape it up really good with electrical tape, and then my ground wire, pull that around. I got my grandson helping me today. Pull that around, James, please. There we go, right down, not so far, right there. I got the ground wire right here, just a bolt straight through a hole that was already existing in the, just like the one right here. The bolt was already there, the hole was already there in the L bracket. Now of course I had the center hole here that the L bracket went through, had to be drilled out to 1/2 inch, okay, because there's a ceramic insulator that goes in from the top, and it fits a 1/2 inch hole. So that's all there is to it. Now our Cricket man, he went ahead and painted his black. I don't care, I'm just going to leave it red. It'll draw attention maybe. And I did put a little drip loop in here. You probably won't need it, but I'm going to put it there anyway. And now we're running the cable alongside the ground wire down as far as I need to go. We're going to go, and I have a shorter pipe. What I did was I initially, the idea was to take this pipe. This is the top rail off of a chain link fence. It doesn't rust or any of that stuff. I was going to go ahead and mount it from here to there, then let it stick way up, and then have the antenna way up on top of that. But James came over and we got talking about it, and I said, geez, you know, I'm not sure that idea is very good, but unfortunately I had already cut the bottom pipe off. To do that, I cut this section off. But James said, well look, let's just go ahead and put it back on with the clamps. And we did. It's nice and tight, it's not going to go anywhere. But we are going to go ahead and set it inside that piece of pipe over there, which will help get it up even higher. I put a bolt, as you can see right there, we put a bolt through, and it'll help it get a little higher and give it a little more support on the bottom. And that way, after we get it into the ground and secured into the ground, all I really need to do is get one clamp with a couple of bolts to hold it to the building, and that'll be it. I don't want to drill a million holes in this building. You know, as fewer as I can get by with, the better off we'll be. So we're about ready to put it up. Everything is good to go here. We'll go ahead and put it in there and see what happens. We'll let you see it after it's up in the air. We are almost there. The pole is now holding itself up. We got it up the top of the bracket that you can see right there. I've already sprayed it real good with clear coat, and then after it dries a day or so, I'll go back up and put some silicone around the screw heads, and the antenna goes up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Way up there, okay? Real good CB antenna. Now all I have to do is get the ground rod driven in, and that's why I have my grandson over here. He's going to use this little pile driver, post banger, get that in there as deep as we can. We can only go in about 6 feet here. We hit bedrock, so you know, about almost a foot of it's going to wind up being stuck out of the ground, but that'll be good enough for the antenna. We'll just drive it in over here somewhere near the antenna and get the ground wire hooked up, and then I can go ahead and run the coax cable. I got 50 feet of it. No, it was 100 feet, I think. Might have been 50 feet. It'll go all the way down to the other end of the building and go in where the other cable went in that I ran in down in the ground there and into the shop. So we'll show you that when the time comes. But so far, so good. Come on, Air Force, put your back into it. Well, there we go. We're getting there. All he has to do is, I ran the cable down the other end, on the gable end, and he's going to run it along the front, the eave, and then bring it down the wall, and we'll run it up into the shop. So I think it's looking pretty darn good so far. It's way up in the air. That's what I really like about it. I mean, that puppy is way up yonder. James is deathly afraid of spiders. Well, guess what? This is the year of the spider in Arkansas. He's had, every time he does anything, he's looking around for spiders. You already killed a couple the size of his head, huh? They came out from underneath those. James, you got the cable sticking down in one spot. Unacceptable behavior on the part of Air Force. Fix it. It must be righteous. I want it to be righteous.
Pushed it out, I guarantee it.
Well, just pull the cable and it'll probably run right up in there. Just pull the cable, tighten it up a little. There you go. All right.
That one. So that little bastard.
He's still hunting spiders. He's sweating like a pig. The heat index today in Arkansas is 97 degrees. Well, as you can see, we finished just in time, didn't we, James?
Oh, yeah.
Just in time. We got the cable inside the shop, cleaned up everything. Here comes the rain. It wasn't even supposed to rain today. All right, our antenna's up. The rain has stopped, and I have my grandson James next to me. Let's fire this baby up and see if we even hear anything at all. I just want to kind of cycle through, see if we're getting anything at all, you know. I'll tell you what, I'll come back if we find anything. How about them apples, huh?
Yeah, just like I said, this right toward the end of your word, just kind of right on there, Joe, good.
I have no idea what they're saying. They got some heavy southern drawls.
Yeah, Lord. I wish it closed, though. You know, wish it that close. Hey, it's hard. Trying to throw a little bit of power out there when you're real close.
Okay, I'm pretty happy with that antenna. Well, while I have our oldest grandson James here, we might as well make good use of him. You'll remember that dirt they drug out, our neighbor Bill drug out to give me better drainage, and he piled the dirt here. I told you I had a use for it, and that's why I asked him to do it. So let me show you what we're doing with it. We're moving it from point A to point B.
This over here.
We also have Cadence working like a little dog out here, aren't you, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Cadence. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Now, she's a karate student, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
You're a
I won second place in weapons.
She won second place in weapons sparring. Yep. She's a. Are you a kick butt kind of weapons? I mean, kind of karate lady?
Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah. I heard you broke a board too. Is that right?
Yeah.
You. Oh, I mean, that's pretty bad news there. I wouldn't want to mess with you in a dark alley.
I give them heaven and I give them hell.
You give them heaven and hell. Well, that's pretty good. Well, that was a full day. We had this low spot filled in where I used to park my truck. I'll be parking it back there, but I needed to get that thing filled in before I do it again. So anyway, this will be a short Mish-Mash video for those of you who might, you know, possibly be interested in some of the things I put up. So until next time, when we'll be back to the Thunderbird, this is John.